and those who prefer a more flexible structure. For those of you who attended our conference, we talked about a new club focusing on the environment and reviving the Rotaract Club in New Brunswick. Our DG and Joe's Home Club, I see that a couple of you here are spearheading that effort. Our DG&D Kalpana is spearheading to form a new club focusing on community health with medical and pharmaceutical professionals throughout our district. We started a conversation after pets last year to explore a club at Newark Airport after I told a story about the JFK Club. In the past few months, we also talked about a club to support veterans and military families, in addition to various ethnic and cultural-based clubs. There's just so many exciting options for all of us to be part of this endeavor. And DGE Bob has invited some very special guest presenters here today. They will not only tell us more about our options, but we will learn about the easy process and the support we will get so we can be successful. Bob, take it away.
Thank you, Jeannie. So good evening, everyone, and very happy to see so many people joining for tonight. I'm expecting this is going to be a special program. We've got some unique talent here with us, and I do want to introduce, we have some Rotary dignitaries here. We've got, to start, Chris Etienne, who's our international director and runs our zone, and is going to be with us for another year. So we're very pleased to have her. I can tell you that she's a very busy person. She wouldn't be here if membership and what we're doing tonight wasn't important to her. So Chris, would you like to say a few words to everybody and kind of set the stage for what we're doing?
Thank you, Bob, very much. Big shout out to your district leadership, Jeannie and Bob, for organizing this session tonight. There's nothing more than all of us can do to continue to think about being innovative and flexible to invite and include more people to be involved in our organization. So with the leadership of Cindy Kish, who is our Rotary Membership Coordinator for Zone 32 and her team, and this recently approved North American pilot program on companion clubs led by Patrick Lingano, who you will hear from, and Chris Jones, who are from the zone south of us in North Carolina, Zone 33. They've had a tremendous success with helping clubs all over North America establish these new companion or satellite clubs. And I'm so excited that you're going to have the opportunity to hear from Cindy and Patrick tonight on the opportunities that exist for your Rotary Club. I know in my own community of many people who are not available to participate in the traditional Rotary Club who meets at noon or breakfast for various reasons, personal reasons, their employment, their work. And this is just such a great opportunity for all of us to think about different ways that we can include others in membership. So Bob, thank you for the opportunity. Jeannie, thank you for the opportunity to share a few remarks, and I'm excited to hear the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. And again, thank you for taking the time to join us here. So I'm going to introduce Cindy. Not that she needs introduction, but you know, if you don't know, she, in addition to being the membership coordinator for our zone, she also ran PELS, the Mid-Northeast PELS that we participated in, which from all reports we got was a fabulous success and an incredible amount of work. And the ability to organize something like that is special. To me, there's one other thing about her. Cindy and Louisa were my learning leaders for the first year that of my class's DG training. And it was Cindy and Louisa that taught me that we can rock the boat and we can change things and make a difference. And it really has had an impression on me, and just two incredible people. And we're fortunate to have Cindy as heading our membership efforts. And I'm going to turn this over to her, and she'll take it from there and introduce Patrick. So, Cindy, it's up to you.
Thank you so much, Bob. I'm going to echo what Chris said, and it's great to see you, Chris. Thank you for your time and leadership and dedication. We really, we follow your lead, and you're amazing. So thank you. And Jeannie and Bob, thank you for organizing this and getting this together, because membership is our top priority. I mean, we've seen the numbers, we've seen that slide, we know it's happening. But here's the thing. Each and every one of you, there are 40 people on this call right now. That's amazing. And that means that we can turn this tide, because the fact that each and every one of you are here and you're willing to listen and you want to learn, you want to hear about new ideas, you're willing to take that chance, you're willing to rock that boat, you want to grow our organization. That's the first step. The first step is having each and every one of you here. Because without learning about these different ideas, these different things that we can do, it's never going to happen. When we sit back at our clubs and we sit there and we think, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, this is your first step. Your first step in creating that plan to grow your club. Because that's what it takes. It takes that first step to sit down and say, we want to do it. And now, how are we going to do it? Let's sit down. Let's talk about, what are our opportunities? What are we missing? Who are we missing? Some things can be as simple as sitting down and going through your community and saying, wait a minute, there's this organization over here that helps with our food pantry. Why don't we invite some of them? Wait a minute, we have a chamber that we could look at. Wait a minute, we have this huge business that's right here that employs 200 people. Have we reached out to them? Have we contacted them? So looking at your club, looking to see what your club does right, and then expanding to see what can fit in your area so that you can grow and do it. Now, Patrick has had tremendous success with companion clubs. He got a little frustrated. He's going to tell you this story. And sometimes frustration can spur motivation and action to happen. So I'm thrilled that you have Patrick here to talk about this wonderful opportunity that he is and Chris are providing. They're assembling a cadre of people, experts who are willing to talk to each and every one of you to help you and support you in your club's growth. I am here and my team is here. Louisa is my counterpart in our paired zone. And I have an amazing team of assistant Rotary coordinators and people that have expertise in certain fields, in DEI and belonging, and other areas that are willing to reach out and talk to you and help you with the specific needs that your club feels that they're lacking. And you may want to grow and help your club gain a few more members through different projects. But I'm sorry I can't be with you for the entire program here. I just wanted to come on and say hello to you, give you some little inspiration, because I know that together we can turn this tide and get those numbers going back up and introduce the incredible Patrick Longano, who has more energy than anyone I've ever met in my life. He is he inspires me. He motivates me. Patrick, has helped to organize and start over 200 clubs. 200 clubs. It's absolutely amazing. And he has the wherewithal. I don't know how he does it, but he organizes, he talks, he will do the paperwork for you so that you don't have to go through all the dotting of the I's and the crossing of the T's. He can handle all of that. I don't know how he does it. I don't know when he ever sleeps, but he makes it happen. And I'm thrilled that he's part of this new pilot program that already has a tremendous impact in our zones below us. And we're hoping that we can get that momentum going in our paired zone. I know we can, because each and every one of you, by being on this screen, we can do it. Together, we can do it. So I'm going to turn it over to Patrick. I have another meeting that I have to go to. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for everything that you have done. And thank you for all that you will do to grow our organization. Thank you all so much. Patrick,
Thanks,
on
Cindy.
to you.
Thank you, Cindy.
I appreciate it. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Y'all
Good.
better. I need everybody to be reaction. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody's alive today. Hey, just a little bit about myself. I was born in New Jersey. Go Jersey. Way to go. I live down by the shore. So Point Pleasant Beach is where I was raised until I moved to Florida and then made my way to North Carolina. That's the reason why they call me a halfback up here. Just a little bit of background here. I started my membership journey back in 2018-ish. Well, I'll ask you a quick question. Anybody here ever hear of, hey, if every Rotarian just brought one person to Rotary, our problems would be solved? Raise your hand if you've heard that. Raise your hand if you believe it. Okay. Yeah. It hasn't worked for 30 years and it's not going to work because we have to realize that everybody in our club is not a recruiter. They might be the best ambassador that you have for Rotary, but they might not feel comfortable recruiting. But back in 2018, I was feeling a little frisky when they said that. And I started looking around for who I thought would be a wonderful Rotarian. And I found that person right in my very own home. My wife, who is a kindergarten teacher, which might explain why we're celebrating 29 years of marriage next month. So she gets the kindergartners during the day and she's got to come home and handle me at night. But I proposed her to my club and they told me that she couldn't become a member. And then I got silent because I was really upset. My club had lost in 13-year period 99 members. They went from 146 to 47 members in 13-year period. And here I was proposing an awesome person who did probably more volunteer hours after school than most of the people in our club. And when I asked why, they said, well, she can't come to 65% of our meetings. And I said, well, we meet Fridays at noon. And they said, yeah. And I said, well, she's a teacher. She can't come, but she can do all these projects and she can do all this other stuff. And the next thing they said to me is maybe she can join the breakfast club. And I said, what time do they meet? And I said, 7:45 in the morning. I said, she's a teacher. She can't come to the meeting. So the next thing that they said to me was the thing that set me off on the path that I was on was they said, maybe she can start her own club. And I just was so frustrated with that. And I said, if we can't figure out a way to have people serve, the way that they can, then we're done as an organization. So it took me a very long time. Does anybody know how to fill out or where to find a satellite club application? In less than 17 clicks. You know what I mean? It's crazy trying to do it. It took me 14 months to put this thing together because stop and start and try to get this and try to get answers. There were 2 questions on the application. I didn't even know what the answer was. So I finally broke down and called club and district support and they're like, oh, we don't need those. I'm like, okay. It took me about 14 months. We started with 8 people. In the pandemic year, June of 2020, right in the middle of the pandemic. And by the end of the 1 calendar year, we had 79 people in our club. And that all those people counted for our home club's membership. So the next thing I know, people started calling me, asking me how to do it. And it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And we have helped start, I say we, it's me and Karen is my admin. We've done clubs all over the world, Australia, the Philippines, Netherlands, Great Britain and Ireland, all over North America and Canada. And it's just gotten so big that we wrote a proposal up to Rotary International, and with the blessing and the backing of the greatest board of directors that I've ever seen in my time in Rotary history, including one that's on this screen. And I'd be talking about her ears were burning this weekend when she wasn't there. Chris Etienne, giving us an opportunity to do something that's never been done in Rotary, is to form this cadre of specialists that know how to do this and have been in the past 2 months been going through training with my staff, and we're ready to go. But I do want to say something about your guys' paired zone, 32 and 28. Because I've operated, like I said, all over the world on this, and I have never seen a trio of people who care more about your club than your director, Chris, and your two RCs, Cindy Kish and Louisa. I mean, an absolute force to be reckoned with. Before most of you got on the call, I was talking with Cindy because I was with Louisa this weekend. And just like 3 weeks before, I had to speak after Cindy Kish. And then this weekend, I had to speak after Louisa. And that is a very, very tough job to do because they are at the top of their game. And I took 3 pages of notes, Chris, when I was listening to Louisa. They've all know more about membership than I can ever do. I just do this one special thing to help your clubs. Now, real quick, raise your hands if you know what a satellite club is. Okay, raise your hands if you heard about, have you ever heard of a companion club? Raise your hand. Okay, so we do have some people on there. And so does anybody know what the difference is? Okay, how about if I tell you? Marty Hellman, who's our director elect nominee, who'll come in after Chris, said, I know the answer to that. And I said, great, what is it? And she said, it's a satellite club, only cooler. And I was like, that's a great one. I'm going to use that, but I need to delve down into it a little bit more. When I first started helping clubs, guys, my main job is to help build up our clubs. So when you hear new club development, what do you guys think? You think that, about a new club over there, okay? And you're concerned. Anybody here concerned with the membership numbers in their club? Raise your hand. Yeah, we all are. So we had to devise a way that we can build up our existing club. So in the first several calls that I was on with the clubs, I got about as far as explaining that it was a satellite club. I'd say a sa like that, and they would cut me off. Nope, we're not doing a satellite club. Bob had a bad experience of them. They're just going to build up and break away. And one day I was on a call and I couldn't even get to the real objections. And I just said, this is a companion club. This club's stated purpose is to stay with the home club. It's structured just like a satellite club, but its main intent is to stay with the home club. And Rotary International has even put that on the satellite club fact sheet. So my job is to help you build up your clubs. Okay, so that's what a companion is. Anybody have, by a show of hands real quick, know of people that are in your club that only want to do foundation or only want to do polio, or they have a specialty in youth services? We all serve differently, right? Every single one of us has a passion in Rotary and we all serve differently. So all we're doing in this instance is to allow people that might not be able to make it to our meetings that are going to serve just a little differently than we do. So that's what a companion is, and we're going to help build your club by doing so. It's a 4 easy step process that we've done, that we work with your club. We stay with you the entire way. As a matter of fact, Cindy said at the beginning, we even do the paperwork for you. So you don't only have to do 17 clicks to get the satellite club application or the companion club application. We do it for you. So this is an entirely free process that we work with your club. We're getting oversaturated. It's the reason why we brought on all the team members. And our goal is to work within the district and let them and walk the interested parties through the process of starting a new club. And does anybody want to know what the steps are? Yay. Okay, nice and simple. All right, I'm actually, Chris, do you think I could show you, should I show the what they're going to be booking on here in a second?
Sure.
All right, so what I've been doing, guys, is I've been the crazy, they call me the guy with the hands, because I'm like y'all. I mean, I'm the guy, you know, up there on the stage, just getting people to book, and I'll have a QR code and say, here, book here for step one. And then it's all automated after that. But what we're doing, and this will be launched in Calgary, you are going to see something that other people haven't seen before. Bob, this one's for you. Jeannie, this one's for you guys. I'm just going to show you this real quick, and hopefully you'll enjoy this. So what you'll do is you will book this, your first step through this app. And it just makes following and all the information that you need really, really easy to do. I'm going to share my screen if I have permission to do so.
You do.
All right, we're going to go over here. All right, so this app has nothing to do with your member management platform. It, can you all see that?
Yep, it's
Okay.
there.
Okay, fantastic. I'm sorry I lost the screen there for a second. So this app right here, once you download it, you will be able to book your step one, which is just a conversation and consultation. We just sit down with you guys and you guys tell us all about your club and what you wish for your club. Or, man, I wish we could have this. Or, man, we're in a lunch club and man, we don't have the teachers in here. We don't have the first responders. We don't have this. We've got underrepresented this. So we just sit down on a step one and we just have a conversation, and you tell us what you dream for your club, because I can promise you, like your wonderful DG was saying at the very beginning, whatever you dream up, we can do for you. So we have a conversation, and after you're completed with that, step two gets unlocked, and you can book an appointment for a step two. Step two is just usually the person who is on step one will bring some more like-minded folks and some other maybe not like-minded folks, you know, onto the call, and that's fine. This right here, step two, is your cultivation and construction of that club. And this is where some people might get on and have some objections. And I call that my Arnie Vinnick moment. We sit down and we answer as many questions as we possibly can. And we stay on that call until all the questions are answered. We handle objections. What about this? What about this? Is it going to cannibalize the club? Is it going to do this? Is it going to do that? We handle all of that with you. And inside that step two, when you click the button, are all the necessary things you might have. You might need. You might need a wording for bylaws, even though most of our club's bylaws now allow for a satellite or companion. If you don't, we have the boilerplate language in there, other resources that you can just click and download the files right from there. But after and you can book as many step twos as you need. It might take one or two, just depending on where everybody's at. Now, in addition to that, when you do that, after you're done and you unlock a step three, that's when it really starts to get fun. We put in there how many people we're going to have the charter, what our expected date is, and a button down here. And I'm not going to show you the demo, but a button under here underneath messaging. By the way, I forgot to tell you that you'll be able to message us or your team person through the thing in between steps. If you need something, you could say, hey, what did you say about that? I've got my board meeting tonight, or I need some help with this. It'll all be right there for you. But a step three, there'll be another button down underneath that you can send the application to your interested parties as you're recruiting, because we actually teach the recruiting portion of it. We don't just say, okay, go out and get your people. By a show of hands, how many people have ever been to something where they say, here, go do this, and then they really don't know and haven't really given you the instruction to get it done. So we actually teach the recruiting and help you recruit those people to do it. But there'll be a button under there where you can send an application out, and it'll add them to your contacts. and inside the app. And when they return it, it actually puts them on the form for Rotary International on the data form. And then when you get to step 4, it actually fills out the Rotary Club application for whatever club that you're doing. If you're doing a companion club, if you're doing a Rotaract club, if you're doing an Interact club, if they're doing if you guys are doing a standalone Rotary club, whatever it is that you guys are doing, it will automatically fill out the application for it to do so. At the end, when it's all done, we download the form. It goes into a PDF and goes out for you guys to DocuSign and straight to club and district support, cutting the time down from almost 3 weeks to between 3 and 6 days to get this done. So it's a very painless thing for you guys to do. You just got the first look at the app that you'll be able to do. Like I said, it's free. And that's how we help you guys. So I'm going to take a break real quick because it's 7:27 and you guys have listened to me talk enough. So I know y'all have got some questions. So let's raise your hands and let's get some questions. Now, don't be shy. DG, Janine.
I guess I need to ask the first question while everybody else is thinking about their questions that they're
Sure.
going to ask. So how do you envision that our district membership committee can help with this entire new process that we're talking about?
I am so glad you asked that question because in the app, you will be, when we work, it depends on if we work with the district or if we work with an individual club. But if we're working with the district membership chair and your new club chair, that sort of thing, they will be, along with the district governor, be notified as they get walked through the steps. I would encourage, if your new club person that you're identifying, Bob, and I don't know if you've identified that person yet or not. A couple of districts have asked us to help them identify a person if they don't already have one. And I think what would be neat is that they be one of the people that gets notified and let them jump on the calls with us so they can see the process and learn the process, because we're training the people that come after us. The old proverbial, everybody likes to hit me with a bus. Patrick, if you got hit by a bus. So I think it would be really neat to train the people that, they're going to be doing it in the districts there. Hope that answered your question.
Yeah, actually, I have a follow-up, another question.
Sure.
Kind of unrelated.
Okay.
That is, I think one of the confusion for many of our clubs is, well, yeah, we're interested in these different options, but which one is really for my club? Is it companion? Is it satellite?
Sure.
Is it a just brand new club? How do we decide that? And what are the factors that we should consider in addition to the number of prospective members we're going to get?
I love your questions. Goodness gracious, can you be on a bunch of other calls with me? You're fantastic questions. That's what step 1 is. It doesn't cost anything. 15 minutes. Just if you're thinking about it or just kind of curious about it, it's a 15-minute call. And we talk about it, and you will really kind of flesh that out and give yourself something to think about. Because we've been there. I just did a club in Louisiana that started off, they wanted to do a companion, but at the East Texas Food Bank, the brand new food bank, $15 million for the Gulf region. Mackenzie Scott gave the money for that, and they built it up, and they wanted to do a companion there, and they wound up doing a Discover Rotary event with me on there online, and they wound up having 27 people, and they did a standalone instead, which was best for the region. So when we get on and talk, they will find the way that's good for them. We don't ever tell anybody what to do. We foster the relationship and facilitate whatever it is that they want to do.
Thank you for that answer. As you know, that would be very helpful. We started several initiative already, as I said in the very beginning.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's one of the major questions that
Mhm.
each one of the leaders were thinking about. So
Yeah.
we will
No,
certainly reach out for your help.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'd be great. I love having those step one conversations because people, they want to talk about their club and what they dream for their club. I mean, we just have had a many years decline. There's been, situations beyond all of our controls that have happened. But, looking at the demographics that you guys have in your area and the strength and of the clubs and the length of service that they have, you have the best product on the planet. And we got, you guys, we have the best, strongest, the greatest service organization that the world has ever seen. And we can add people to that just by designing and putting in the procedures to get the results that we want. It's fairly it's a fairly easy process. Thank you, DG
Thank
Janine.
you.
I appreciate it. I think Ravi had his hand up first, and then we'll go to Susan.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yes, sir.
So we're a healthy club. We get a lot of new members. We
Mhm.
lose some members.
Mhm.
If you were to start a companion club or a satellite club to support all cause, right?
Mhm.
Does it take away from the club itself, from the club experience? Let's say they start meeting on Zoom. Now you've got additional meetings that are on the calendar and people have more things to do. So do they two things, right? First, do we keep the due structure the same way for the companion club? And
Mhm.
then once, if you don't, then that is also another challenge or another question. And does it take away from the current club experience? Because we actually give options to come at lunch or evening, and that gives a lot of people different options to come to either meeting, to come to both meetings. You're joining one club, but you could be part of any meeting you choose. So does it take away from the current club experience?
Well, I absolutely applaud you guys for doing that. That's amazing. That's a really good job. It only took just a little bit, about 11 minutes really, to get into the money question. I have I have the top tab. Robbie's laughing. We're getting everybody laughing here. Hey, listen, I'm dead serious. I've got a live document that has the top 20 objections that I hear, over the last 6 years. Number one is money. Number 2 through 20 says something else, but it comes back to the money deal. You know what I mean? It's the third rail of Rotary, right? So here's the thing in a nutshell. It's up to the club. The club's autonomous. Now I can be on that call in that coaching session, and number two, this would come up in your step two. Probably we get in there and people would say, tell me about the money, and we talk and I'd show you best practices. We have so much data over the last 6 years of what's happened. It's just, we share that with you guys. Money's the number one thing, but we can share best practices, and then the club makes decisions on what they want to do. I have had clubs that are $15 a month all the way up to a club in Orlando just did, I think it was $50 a month. You know what I mean? It's just it depends on what you want to do and how we can strengthen and solidify that. The second part of your question, I think might have lent towards and I hate this word, hate it, cannibalization of the club. If that's cheaper, my people are going to go over there and do that, right? It doesn't happen. It really doesn't. That's the biggest fear I think people have. You know what I mean? We can't lose any more people. We're gonna, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. It doesn't happen. You might lose one. They might come up to you and say, "Hey, I think that's a better fit for me." And there's two things about that. A, you just saved that person because they were planning on leaving anyway. They were just waiting for the right time. But more times than not, a club will go, Jerry and Bob, we haven't seen them in a year and a half. This might be a better fit for them. More times than not, the club will, move the person to the other one. Now, getting back to the experience part of the question, it doesn't sound like you guys have a problem with this, but you will never see a more rejuvenative performance from a home club. It's so amazing because we're the same club and everybody is together, but just doing service a little differently. So I've seen people that haven't been at service projects in years, and they will show up at one of the micro projects or the service projects that they're doing on the other one and be like, hey, now they might not be doing a service project. They might be walking around with a beverage in their hand and talking with the other Rotarians and stuff like that. But you know what? Fellowship and I've seen that boost in energy that happens. But I hope that answers your question. I mean, it's kind of vague, but I have not seen the issues with that at all. And the one portion about the money, we worked that out. I'm a big membership over money guy, and I'll stay on that call for as long as I need to, or do another one until we can, help you guys come to an agreement on that. But great question. Thank you so much for asking them.
Thank you, Patrick.
We're going to go to Susan and then Joe. Hi, Susan.
Hello, Patrick. We really miss you in New Jersey.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Halfway back's better than Florida, but that's where I was most recently. Thank you so much. I think the idea is great. I love the name Companion Clubs. I love the alliteration. I love the energy boost and the flexibility. I'm just curious for Summit New Providence Rotary, and we are experiencing new membership, which is great. Jeannie's efforts have been fantastic, but we are a Monday lunch, and that is quite restrictive. So the first question is just, is there usually geographic relationship? That's the first question. That's probably pretty obvious to you. But the second question for me is, as far as program relationship, here's a brochure called Why Every City Needs a Mini Forest. And Milwaukee mini forests are perfect for Rotary. They're civic. They're healthy. They cost about $8,000 to $10,000 per community, and New Jersey has 565. So they really should be in every community. Every single one is different, but you're not going to have 565 different Rotary clubs doing it. So I could see a companion club taking on the various angles of getting the ideas of Milwaukee forests across, because it's complicated and yet they are wonderful engagement opportunities for ecological health.
Yeah. I think that would be a fantastic idea in your club. Your club's growing right now. The more ways that you can open your tent, all you have to do is ask yourself one question. Everybody on this call just has to ask them one question. We're doing it already right now in our Rotary Club. We're allowing our people to serve differently. Bob does that. We do this. We come together for some meetings, that sort of thing like this. But if you're okay with people serving differently, all you have to do is ask yourself that one question. Are we okay with opening our tent just a little bit bigger to allow these people to serve a little differently? Now, cause-based companions are fantastic because they give that Rotary Club a spin. Like Ravi was talking about how he's got alternative time meeting. Brilliant. Very, very hot right now. Very easy to put together. But a cause-based could be the stated purpose of that club. I'm working with a club up in Michigan right now that mental health has been really, really important to them for decades. So they're going to do a cause-based companion club based on mental health and work with mental health professionals all over the district, as a matter of fact. So it's going to be a really huge thing. So if you have an idea or a purpose in your club that you guys have always done and always worked with, literacy, teachers, anything like that, you can explore those things. But a companion is good for giving that stated purpose, like you guys were talking about right there. And what will happen, you'll see, is that other people will see that, and it will become their stated purpose as well. So I'd love to talk with you about that and flesh that out a little more. That's a really interesting, first time I've heard that. Very, very interesting idea.
Oh, yeah. I hope it's not the last. I hope it's talked about a lot in Calgary. It really, It's all over the world, but we're a little behind in the US, but it's all along the lines of Rotary. So I'd
Well, you
love
know,
to
the
talk.
good part about it is you can be the spark plug, because I'll tell you,
I'll do that.
I don't hold a zone position. I've never been a district governor. I'm a regular Rotarian that got, everybody says, how did you get this? How did you start doing this? And I said, I got pissed off at Rotary. That's the reason why I'm not long for Rotary. Sorry, Chris. Oh, it's being recorded too. Sorry about that, everybody. You know, but
I'll present it. We
never,
really thank you for doing this.
never forget that, you know, the best ideas come from the fringes, and you never know where they're coming from. You just have to be wise enough when it comes across to take it. It's really good. So, Susan, I'd love to continue hearing about that. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Happy
And
to talk.
Susan, I just want to add, whatever we can do from the district level to help that happen, we will certainly do whatever necessary. We understand that there are challenges in your club, and we will work through those challenges. We're with
Okay.
you.
That's great. I appreciate that.
Now,
Good.
before I get to Joe, and Joe, you're next, buddy, because I see you right there. Before I get to Joe, we've been talking about growth a lot, haven't we? We're using these companion clubs to grow our club, right? Real quick, another show of hands. Now, I know you're getting tired, but I want to see the hands, okay? Has anybody on here lost somebody out of their club, a great Rotarian, because life changed? They had a baby, the job changed. Yeah, every single person on this club, every single person on this call. Let me ask you a question. If you had one of these in your back pocket, because they all say the same thing, right? They all come to us and go, I don't want to leave service to the club, but, right? Now, what's our options that we've been able to give them at that time? Bye. When life changes again, come back. That's the only thing that we've been able to do consistently. If you have a companion club in your back pocket, you can go to them then and say, I understand that life changed. I understand that it changed. And the only thing certain in this life is that it's going to change again. So right now, as we all have peaks and valleys in our life, why don't we just slide you over to the companion club? You can serve at your time and at your pace. And when this crazy life changes up again, you can either slide right back over or stay in the current situation that you're in without all the stress, without all the noise. Do you think that you would have been able to save? Raise your hand if you think you might have been able to save a Rotarian or two over the past couple of years. Yeah, it's just easy. And your district will work with your district to and your membership committee to work on retention. This is as big for retention as it is for growth. The clubs over the last 32 months, anybody that started a companion club over the last 32 months, they're less right now than 8% attrition. It's 7.2% attrition rate. Chris, what's our average attrition rate across the United States?
You're gonna know better than me.
Yeah, it's at that 15 to 16%, guys. Who wants to take? Do you guys have a problem finding a membership chair in your club? Because I don't know about you, but when they come up to me at a 100-person club and they say, hey, yeah, you're going to be a great membership chair. You're going to need to recruit 16 people just to get the break even. Boy, that's the job I want. So let's give them the tools to retain these wonderful Rotarians that we've spent so much time on and know about Rotary, and give them a place where they can land when their life happens. You know, that's just my philosophy. Joe.
I do know that close to 50% of our members in North America who leave Rotary leave within the first 3 years.
Yeah.
So we're not meeting their needs. We're not finding what's important to them. And the companion club is a fabulous option to meet their needs.
I'm glad you said that too, Chris, because when I say all the time, you have to give people a choice coming into Rotary, and you got to give them options before they go. So when they come in, human nature, if you're talking with somebody about Rotary, you're like, my club is awesome, and this is what we do. They're going to go, oh, that's great. And that might seem a great option, but human nature in the back of their mind, they're going, is there another option? Do I commit to this without another, thing? So when we do a companion club, we serve up a menu. We teach you how to, just go, okay, let me go over a couple of ways that you can serve. You can serve this way, and our home club, and these are the projects that we do, and these are the kind of speakers that we have, da 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 da. You'll also have another choice, and you can serve this way. Which do you prefer? All of a sudden, they don't need to think about what else is out there, because you've given them a choice in front. And then I just explain the options before they leave. You have an option before you have to leave Rotary now. So thank you for bringing that up, Chris. I appreciate that. Joe, I've kept you holding long enough, big guy.
Hey, Patrick. Listen, as the 4-time treasurer and the 4-time president of the club, which got chartered in 1910. Now, Companion Club and the Satellite Club, I understand as the head count. And, come around July, I get a bill for head count. Come around December, I get a bill from head count, both from the district and both from the international. Okay. Now we're going to a companion club. So we're going to get the same per capita taxes. Now, how does that work for a part-time club, basically?
All these people pay Rotary International dues and district dues. They're full paying Rotarians on there. And then the other portion that we discuss as we go, because the home club's got to get some money on there too. So there's that negotiated deal. Do you know how much money my club has spent in the last 5 years on service projects?
No idea.
$0. Zero. We go out and do good in the community, and we kill it. 7 of the top 10 people in my district for service hours come out of my club. We hold 48% of the districts under 30s and 27% of the districts under 40s. Because
you're a New Jersey guy. You understand what the idea of volunteerism is in New Jersey.
My man, I'm telling you, brother. I will tell you this, guys. The next question is, why would somebody pay to just do volunteer work? You know what I mean? I get that a lot. Why would they pay you to do this when they're already doing it and stuff like that? Every single one of us, except for a couple who were dragged kicking and screaming to Rotary, came here because we were looking for something bigger than what we were doing. We were all doing service before we came to Rotary, right? All of us were. If we're Rotarians, we definitely were. But we were missing that piece of the heart. We were missing something in here that Rotary gave us, bigger than ourselves. And there's something magical, really, when you give the gift of Rotary. It changed my life when I started living the 4-way test instead of just reciting it. You know what I mean? And you all know that everybody talks about your Rotary moment, but each and every person on this call, I guarantee you, felt that the same way, because we all talk about the 4-way test. We all recite it. That day that you started living it, you'll never forget it. Look at my hair on my arms is standing up. And we need to give more people that. It's our duty as Rotarians to bring people to Rotary, because we know it'll change their lives. So, Joe, there are some peaks and valleys. You will have to work through a couple of these issues, but I promise everybody, the other side of that rainbow, the other side of this journey that we do together on this thing, you'll look back on and say it's the best thing you ever did. It is really cool to do. So thank you for your question, Joe. I appreciate you, bud. Anybody else got any questions? Come on, we got a couple more. It's only 7:50. Who's going to Calgary? I'll ask the question. Who's going to Calgary? Raise your hand. Anybody going to Calgary? Y'all need to write this down. Tuesday at 2:30, we're going to have a party. An absolute party in our breakout session. Last year, they had Brian King as they have to put a Rotary person in your room with you, I guess. I don't know why. Brian King was mine last year. I think they put him in there just in case I did anything crazy. But we have a great time, doing it. So please come see us. And if you don't want to come see us, I don't know if Chris has got her time change on hers, but I think yours will end right before mine, won't it, Chris?
Yeah, I was not successful in changing my time. So we might have a little overlap there,
Just a
but
little bit.
I encourage you all to attend Patrick's session and learn about the first step,
Yes.
because you all need to take this opportunity to create a companion club in your community.
Well, we're going to have a great time. So even if we go over to, we make sure we go over to Chris's first, and then we'll have a contingent, come with pitchforks and torches, and we'll go from Chris's over to ours. We'll have a
Well,
great.
and mine's about the action plan, so it
Oh, I
all
love it.
ties
Ties
in
right in.
together. It's all ties in together. So,
Ties right in. Ties right in. I love that. All right. What other questions we got here? We got about 9 minutes left. Susan?
Yeah, I have a Calgary question. I would love to know if there's a shorthand way to find out who from New Jersey will be there. I'm the only one from my club, Summit, New Providence. And I would just love to know who else is going to be out there. I'm going there partly because I was the associate conductor of the Calgary Philharmonic way back in
Whoa.
1988 to 91. So this was my first job, and I thought I want to go out there and say hi to my long time friends. But I'm excited about it. But I'd love to know all the Jersey people who are going. Is there anybody who has that list, or can it be shared somehow?
I think your
I'll-
district.
We
I'll
have,
I'll send out a list to everybody that's going, Susan, so you'll know.
but that's
Great.
only our district.
Who said
Yeah,
that?
in our district, not
Yeah.
from New Jersey. I just
Yeah.
know who's going from our district.
Who is that? Is that Joe?
That's Bob.
Bob. Thank you, Bob. Okay, great. Wonderful.
That's Bob. Now, until the app is done, I'm going to throw something up on the screen here. And I'd like for you guys to take a look at this. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to drop a link in the drive. Have a good time. So, anybody ask me a question while I'm doing this? Somebody give me a crazy question.
How's North Carolina?
It's okay. Actually, I'm in the district that got hit by the Helene, and my district governor's business got filled up with 8 feet full of mud. Our district governor nominee had to be picked up on the side of a mountain in a helicopter. It was pretty rough, but I will tell you this. I've never seen a bunch of Rotarians like I've ever seen in my life. They descended upon us from everywhere. It was amazing what you guys did. Janine, did you have a question?
Well, not a crazy question that you're
Okay,
expecting,
I'll take normal
but
questions.
but let's just say we have some clubs here who are one of your typical traditional legacy clubs.
Yeah.
After listen to all you just presented, they're still on the fence. So what do you say to them?
Oh. I'll ask you this. You guys are my 1,052nd call, video call, since July 1st of last year, or the beginning of this Rotary year. I stay, and my wife says, "How's your week look?" And I said, "My dance card's full." And she says, "What do you mean your dance card?" I'm like, "I've got a 5, 6, 7, 8." That was a good dad joke. You needed to laugh. That was funny. I'm sorry that was there. But so all I'm asking you is this. It takes 15 minutes to just set up a call. You jump on with me. Just tell me about worst case scenario. I find out all the wonderful things about your club and get to meet you. I mean, so if you're on the fence, just have a 15-minute call. Invest 15 minutes just to tell me about your club and see if there's anything there that might spark it, for you to do. So bear with me, and I'm going to give you guys a link so you don't have to wait on the tech and the tools to do so. Okay. Bear with me for 1 second. I'm just going to change this out. Should have had that up. I came unprepared, guys. That's crazy. Any other questions? I'm not looking up at the screen there.
I just
So-
love, I just want to ask Chris. Chris, I love your bilingual sends. Thank you so much. It reminds me of my Canada days. Do you live in Montreal?
Me? No, I live in Michigan.
Oh,
The great state of Michigan, where Patrick mentioned he's working on a club that's focused on mental health,
Mhm.
creating a satellite or companion club on mental health. So I live in the great state of Michigan, but you're in zone 32. Your paired zone of 28 includes most of the state of Michigan,
okay.
primarily the entire country of Canada, with a few exceptions, the state of Alaska, and
Yeah.
the two French islands of St. Pierre and Miquelon.
Wow.
So we have a large geographic area that we cover, and
Yes.
it's been unbelievably rewarding to work with all these amazing Rotarians from our two zones.
Fabulous.
And we are so excited to now have Patrick and Chris as part of our family. And his director, Patrick Eakes, is a very dear friend of mine. But I think, Patrick, we're going to recruit you to join us.
I'll be there. I love it. And right up, can you guys see that 3 steps in a party? Because everybody always tells me first of all, I put the link in the chat. If you just want to click on the link, it just pulls up my calendar and you guys get to pick the date and the time, and it just sends you a link to sit down at that date and time. But this, if you want to scan it with your phone, everybody asks me what the steps are all the time. And I really got to tell them, I always tell them it's 4 steps, but it's really like 3 steps and then a party. And it depends on how hard charging you guys are at your club, what kind of party it is, if you know what I mean. So usually it's a lot of fun. So you can either scan that code. I just want to double check and make sure that that one does, and they hadn't changed it. But I also put up the other step for the club on or on the chat here in the Zoom chat. So any last questions?
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, just conceptually,
Mhm.
how do you see these companion and satellite clubs as differing from a Rotaract club?
Oh, that's a good one. I really appreciate that. Are you talking about a community-based Rotaract club?
Well, I've seen different variations, community-based.
Yeah.
My
Sure.
impression is, and we're looking to set one up
Yeah.
in Newark, New Jersey, is the companion or satellite clubs can be focused around particular demographic
Mm-hmm.
or professional interest rather than a broader Rotaract and the action that they try to facilitate.
Michael, it's going to be a defining question for our board of directors that I know that they're up to the challenge for, because Rotaract has been sitting there for a while now. It's never fulfilled. And remember, they started in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is about an hour from where I lived back in 1968. And it's a fantastic program, but they're with a sub 5% conversion rate to our Rotary clubs. It's not what we're needing it to do. Right now, the people that you bring in your companions or your satellites, it's 12.2% conversion from people who start in a companion and wind up in the home club. So we're nearly, and I haven't, it's just been me over the last 6 years. Can you imagine when we start to drill down and increase that thing? You're going to have your own feeder to it. Now, I love Rotaract. Absolutely love it. But unless we can get a handle and make it the bridge that we think that it should be, then I would consider staying with the companion. I know that you guys at the district, Bob and DG Janine, when they come to you and they want you to increase membership, correct? What counts for membership for you guys in your district? Your Rotary members. So I would consider both those things First, and I'm not saying that we help with those too. I'm doing a Rotaract Club in Anchorage, Alaska right now. But does anybody here on this call have like a junior college in their community or a tech school, anything like that? How old do you have to be in Rotary? 18 years old. I don't seed people to Rotaract. I want those people in my club, and they want to be in my club because after they graduate, who have they been serving with for 2 years? The people in their community they're going to be helping and networking and teaching them leadership. We forget, guys, when you're out there recruiting and you're talking with people, we have the best leadership training that you can ever get. So that's one of the reasons why this should be over with us. That's just my opinion. And it might not be the most popular, sir, but we'll help you with anything that you want. If you want that kind of club, if you want a Rotaract club, if you want to interact, heck, we even help with Interact clubs. So whatever it is that you want for your club and in your community, we will help with. But I was just answering you straight up.
No, I'll be in Calgary, so I'll hunt you down.
There'll be a lot of other people hunt me down. I'm gonna be like, diving behind dumpsters and stuff. So now, Mike, we're gonna have a good time in Calgary. I hope to see you there.
Patrick, I have one comment. This is Janet.
Hi, Janet.
Hi, how are you?
Doing fine. How are you?
Thanks to Bob, he sent the membership team a previous video of you speaking to, I believe it was the upcoming DGEs. And it was a great speech and it helped our membership team meeting. And one point that didn't come up but close to coming up tonight was that previously you had said that once people are in the satellite companion club, some of them might decide to join the legacy club. And I just wanted to mention that to everyone on the call, that you had said that previously in case they're worried about. They can increase membership. If you prove that you're a great friendly club and you can bring joy to their lives, then they'll jump over. They might not like the lunches, but you'll figure it out.
Oh, no, Janet, I'll tell you, that's the great point. And thank you for bringing it up. And I'll just tell you this. I just worked a club in Catawba in North Carolina, and they did the menu when they were out recruiting they were a 33-person club. And they did what I asked them to do with this. Okay. And because they offered all the choices to all of the people that they spoke to all of the time, they recruited out. They were just seriously out doing this for their companion. They recruited 7 people for their home club and 21 people for the companion. They went from 33 people to 61. And in the 3 or 4 months that they've done that, they're now up over 70. I mean, talk about changing the fortunes. Can you imagine how much more do-goodery they could do now that they have all those extra hands that are there? So it's not a lot of work, guys. I know you're thinking it's the Spider-Man meme right now where everybody's, who's going to do it? It doesn't take a lot. We handle most of that work for you, and you'll have a good time doing it. But Janet, thank you so much for bringing that up. That was great. You should be doing these with me. We're ready to go.
No problem.
All right.
Patrick,
Yes,
can you
ma'am.
talk about who you are recommending the clubs to include when they schedule that first consultation meeting with you?
Don't bring the back table yet. Y'all got the back table at your club? Yeah, I see a bunch of y'all laughing, and the ones that aren't laughing are probably part of the back table. I see you. That's okay. No, I'm serious. Seriously, Joe's over there going, should I laugh? Should I not laugh? Should I? Yeah, I love it. No, guys, it's usually the person that just wants more. Just, if you know that there's something more, or there might be something more out there that you can do, come and just talk about that. We'll worry about bringing the other people later. And I know some of you are going, my club ain't going to go for that. How many people actually thought in their head sometime during this call, be honest now, remember it's a 4-way test, my club ain't going to go for that? Raise your hand. Oh my gosh. That's right. Just a couple of them. Don't worry about it. Some of them do, some of them don't, but they all come around. Remember, out of this group right here, you're going to have a certain amount of people that book, and we're going to help them. Then you're going to have a couple of people, and I'll probably see a couple on there that might go, I'm going to hang back for a minute just to see how this works. And then they're going to come along. And then there's going to be a certain group of people that don't change their chairs in 30 years in the Rotary Club. But you know what we do with them? I was telling Bob earlier today, anybody got grandkids or kids and watched Madagascar? When, the little cartoon that the penguins, it says smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. That's what we do. Just, we're here when you need us. So DG Janine, bring the person who believes that they want. It could be one person. It can just be them. It can be them and a buddy. We just start the conversation with that, and then we move on from there.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Who else we got?
One thing that Patrick and I talked about earlier was that, we strongly believe we're not here. If somebody wants let's call it a legacy club tradition with the meals and all of those things, and that to them is Rotary, they should be allowed to continue that, and they should be allowed to enjoy that with their fellowship and everything. What they shouldn't be allowed to do is prevent Rotary from growing and from other people who do want to get involved from finding a way to get involved. And that, to me, is what the companion clubs do. Whether it's somebody that wants to be involved with the forest project or mental health or health issues or whatever it is, we're giving the clubs the tools to be able to bring something to those people. There's clubs that have a dozen satellite clubs of all different, different types and different focuses. And they're all under one umbrella, and it works. And that is really what the driving force behind this is to be able to give people choice. When a lot of us were growing up, there were 3 TV channels. There's a lot more than 3 TV channels now, and that's the same thing that we're competing against when we're looking for people's time and attention. We've got to give them the ability to do things. It's going to be different, but that doesn't mean it's not Rotary. To me, there's a big difference between values and tradition. Our values remain the same. The traditions can change. And I think we have to have the freedom and allow people to do these things the way they want to do them. And that's why Jeannie and I put this thing together and why we believe that this is going to be important to the future of the district. 20 years of declining membership is too much. We can't continue.
We can do it, guys. We can do it together. I promise you. And I will tell you this, my buddy Chris, who I think's on the call, who's doing this with me. He's a former RC. He's, like I said, I'm the guy with the hands that talks a lot. Chris is on the call. He's a great guy. Learned so much from him. Him and Patrick Eakes brought me in from the cold, out here in Western North Carolina. But he will tell you guys that they, just to get started right now, I've already got 7 people that were on this call that have already booked a first step. 7. If you haven't yet, I'm watching them as they come in. Get with somebody, book it. 15 minutes. That's all I'm asking. Give me 15 minutes and tell me about your club, and we'll help you out. All right. DG Bob, DG Janine, Chris Etienne. This is like the party. We're having a good party here. I just appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to speak with you guys, everybody on the call. Any last questions?
I just want to say thank you, Patrick, and thank you, Chris. This is tremendous support for this important initiative. So we appreciate it very much, and we will do our best here to support our clubs and encourage our clubs to sign up for this easy and great starting point for everyone to grow membership. Thank you.
We appreciate it, everybody.
Great job.
Thanks,
Thank-
everybody, for coming. We recorded the meeting and we'll make it available. So thank you all. Have a good evening.
Bob,
Thank you,
can
Patrick. Thank you,
Thank
Chris.
you.
Bob, I'm going to hang tight with you and Janine real quick.
Okay.
And Chris, if you want to come.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.